Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Anti-Genius Network. I'm your host, Alan Hearns, and it's time for episode 1 of Anti-Genius of the Week. Before we get to our candidates, I would like to clarify the definition of the term anti-genius to the viewing audience. An anti-genius is the opposite of a genius, aka a dumbass, idiot, nincompoop. Get the idea. And for our first episode, we have some good candidates for Anti-Genius of the Week, candidates worthy of being crowned with the coveted Golden Dunce Cap. Our first candidate, in my opinion, is already a front runner for Anti-Genius of the Year, John Fisher and the Athletics. Just a few days fresh from the start of a new year, news broke out that the United States Patent and Trademark Office had denied the aids to trademark Las Vegas Athletics and Vegas Athletics before their move to Las Vegas. Apparently, they were told that the name was too generic and confusing, and this was their second denial. That's right, their second denial. And on top of that, they're not the first ones to even file for the trademark. So who filed before John Fisher and the Athletics? A fan group known as the Last Dive Bar. This fan group has been vocal towards John Fisher, and they filed for the trademarks in 2024. They even had t-shirts made for the occasion just to rub it in John Fisher's face before they departed from Oakland. And now John Fisher and the Athletics got to 2028 to come up with a brand new name before they moved to Las Vegas. They won't even be called the A's or the Athletics. Who knows? They can't even go with the Aces because that already belongs to the WNBA team. While we on the topic of sports owners, Jerry Jones, or Geriatric Jones as I like to call him, states that he wants to retire as the NFL owner with the most Super Bowl rings. Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, has 6 Super Bowl wins, and Jerry has 3. The Dallas Cowboys haven't been to a Super Bowl, let alone an NFC Championship game, in 30 years. Jerry is in his early 80s, 83 to be exact. Y'all do the math here, folks. The numbers don't lie, and they're not in favor of the Dallas Cowboys. You're the Toronto Maple Leafs of the NFL. What makes you think that your Dallas Cowboys are going to magically win 4 Super Bowls? At this rate, you're never going to retire. Jerry's going to be 200 years old and still be the GM of the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry, let it go. But if you're really serious about your desires, then hire a real GM. But you won't, because you want to prove to everyone that you can build a championship team. And you haven't done that. This past weekend was a wild card round for the NFL, and 2 teams had in-game collapses so bad that it's going to haunt these teams for quite some time. The Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. I could talk about the Green Bay Packers disaster and the agony and the link, but instead, some mess transpired during that weekend. Lynn Jones Turpin of the Jacksonville Free Press gave first-time head coach Liam Cohen of the Jacksonville Jaguars some words of encouragement. I saw nothing wrong with what Lynn said. Everybody needs a little bit of encouragement after like a disappointing loss, right? However, some who have a journalism background and others didn't like her kind words. With everything going on in the world, the madness, the chaos, the dysfunction, a random act of kindness got y'all in an uproar. Some, like Jamel Hill of all people, try to discredit her. Jamel did apologize, but only because Lynn was black. I'm so glad to see so much pushback and burials of every journalist who didn't like what Lynn said. Oh, don't worry. I got plenty of Golden Dunce Caps for everyone that took issue with what Lynn said. Our next candidates are 1047 Games and their defense force. 1047 Games is a studio that developed Splitgate and Splitgate Arena Reloaded, aka Splitgate 2. A little backstory on Splitgate Arena Reloaded. Originally released as Splitgate 2 on June 6, 2025 on PS4 and 5, PC, Xbox One, and Series consoles. And it bombed so badly that the devs unlocked the game a month later. It didn't help that game director Ian Prolix hopped on stage at last year's Summer Game Fest wearing a Make FPS Great Again hat while talking down on other FPS games. And to top it off, they introduced some egregious microtransaction bundles. Case in point, the Nano Swarm bundle. This bundle is priced at $80 with a 45% discount. That's right, a microtransaction bundle that costs up to $80 even with the discount applied. Now, you can only find that in Call of Duty, but they wouldn't even charge you $80 for that crap. And instead of taking accountability, they try to blame it on a Call of Duty dev that they hired. That's right. Somebody that they hired was responsible for it, and they put the blame on them, but they still put it in the game. So on July 22nd, 2025, the game went back into beta. Fast forward to December 17th, Splitgate 2 was relaunched as Splitgate Arena Reloaded, and guess what? It bombed even worse. Apparently, the devs didn't like folks pointing out Steam chart numbers, and this is their response. Steam charts don't measure fun. They show one number on one platform at one given moment. They don't show the full picture of what it feels like to actually play. And they definitely don't capture the community that's actively helping shape what Arena Reloaded is becoming, including upcoming content like Arena Royale. Over the past 6 months, we rebuilt Splitgate from the ground up because we believe in the game, our team, and our community. The 1047 team remains committed to delivering the best version of Splitgate possible. To our amazing community, thank you. Your feedback and passion have helped make Arena Reloaded better every day. And to everyone who hasn't played it yet, Arena Reloaded is free. The gameplay is the best it's ever been, and we love for you to jump in and form your own opinion. A lot of passionate people work very hard on it. Holy gaslighting, get tripping, Batman. If you're so proud of your work, then show us numbers. Put your money where your mouth is and show us numbers. Yes, Steam charts may not be a metric of fun, but they do show a likely trend that a game is possibly underperforming on all platforms. If it's not doing well on one platform, chances are it's not doing well on all the other platforms either. And to all you Splitgate cardboard knights, do you use Steam charts in your arguments about how bad Halo, Call of Duty, or any other FPS not named Splitgate is performing? If so, then congratulations, you are a hypocrite. But this one, without a doubt, is definitely runner-up for Anti-Genius of the Year. 18-year-old Bria Hardy of Noonan, Georgia, and her anonymous ex-boyfriend. Bria was arrested and charged with theft by deception. 18 years old, and she's already getting into the scamming business. However, the scam she did is on Hall of Fame level. She collected nearly $7,000 in child support payments from her ex-boyfriend. Bria's ex came to the detectives one day about being scammed on child support payments. He told authorities that Bria showed him pictures of the baby and everything, saying that it was his and it was his responsibility to support the child. And after a thorough investigation, they found out that the child wasn't even his. But wait, there's more. In the craziest of twists that M. Night Shyamalan wishes he could pull off, the baby wasn't hers either. Let me repeat that for your audience. The baby wasn't her child either. See, this is why there are folks who demand mandatory DNA tests before signing the birth certificate. The fact that she was able to get nearly $7,000 in child support payments when neither of them is the parent of said child. You might think this is an AI generated story, but no, this is real life, people. And not only that, the ex-boyfriend, he got to get this Golden Dunce Cap too. He gave her that amount of money willingly. He wasn't ordered by the court to pay her. That's right. He gave her the money, nearly $7,000, not even court ordered, of his own accord, of his own will. He didn't even get a DNA test done to prove that he was the father. He didn't do the math. He didn't think about this at all. She told him a lie, and he ran with it. Now, it's bad enough that you getting scammed, but you didn't even think about it, and you still went along with it. Yeah, this is why you get that Golden Dunce Cap with her as well. Well, folks, that concludes this episode of Anti-Genius of the Week, and I'll see you on the next one. This is Alan Hearns, signing off.